Well, it's overcast, 44 degrees, and we are headed back to Greenbrier to do a little work inside. What I'd like to be able to do is organize the utility closet or utility room and get rid of stuff I don't need and put stuff in a little better order so that it's easier to find and easier to get to. As you can tell, all the leaves are gone. It's late November and it's 44 degrees. Not going to warm up much more than that, so we'll be using the heater today. Nice quiet lake, but everything else is gray and gloomy. As I said, you can see sunshine trying to get through, but it's awfully thick. Gray clouds. All keeps coming out of the unlock the doors. I may unlock them, go out and check on that 2x6 that's in there, see whether or not it is starting to dry out. Water's still down quite a bit. Still a lot of limbs down. That one broke the clothesline. raccoons are still visiting the pier at night. Well, water's still way down, but you can see that the lake wall I'm trying to build with the limestone is starting to work as it's growing grass and catching the dirt back behind it. I may have to go to the quarry and get more limestone. Blue jays aren't really happy, but I'm happy with what I see. Nothing out of place. With all the wind and rain. Got a few puddles in there. But mostly we're in good shape. I want to brought down more clips that go to the cartridge that goes into the shower. So I was going to put them in the little black container in here. And while I'm in here, just going to hit the pump real quick. It turned easy enough. Get this black container. This is what I use for parts. I need to start marking it. I need to mark it again because everything has changed. And I brought down a package of 5 clips. That should last us for a while. Put that back. Turn the light back off. Lock the door. And that's that. Just a concrete slab that this sits on, so it gets fairly cold in here. Got the lights on, it's already feeling warmer. I've got the utility room opened up, the lights on. I turn the stove on to get some heat going, and we've got this little ceramic heater. Got it set to 74 and it's blowing out warm air. And with the oven on, it already feels warmer in here, and it's only been about 5-6 minutes since I turned them on. I am going to go out. Everything looks good. I just want to feel that 2x6 and see how it's aging. Oh yeah. It's I wouldn't say half the weight, but it's lost at least 20-30% of its weight as the preservative dries. That they used to make treated lumber anymore. When it dries, when I bought it, it was still really damp and heavy, and I'd say it's lost about 30% of its weight. By spring, it should be nice and dry, and I can try staining it and see whether or not my idea of staining that wood works instead of buying cedar. That'd be much cheaper. So I will set you up when I get ready to get started. I'm still not started, but I want to give an idea of some of the projects we still need. You can see that the bottom board, trim board on the 2 windows and on the pass-through window have not yet been installed. Those are here in the corner, These are those 2x6s that we have sitting here, and those need to be cut and installed. What I just took out from behind the door of the utility room, you look down here, you can see that we've got open spaces. I've got a kick plate here, 2x5, 2x6s, I don't know what the exact measurements are, but we've got 2 long ones and a short one, and I need to install them sometime in the near future. So that's 2 jobs that can be done inside, and it's winter out. So just a video reminder to myself of things that can be done. Then this cabinet, or closet, you can see what a mess it is. It's meant to have tools and parts on one side, electrical at the top, and then painting and plumbing on the second shelf, screws and connectors on the third shelf, and the bottom shelf is tools. We've got the electrical cabinet here, and on this side I put shelving up for kitchen supplies. And one thing got back here is the pump I use to clean out the on-demand water heater, and we've got plenty of vinegar back here and some CLR and trash bags, that type of thing. And we've got some foodstuffs like salt, pepper, oil, stuff like that in containers. Most of the stuff, we've got plenty of cabinets. We did the cabinets low so that we could leave the wood open, and we have plenty of cabinet space. So one of the things I want to get done this winter would be nice is I could put the kick plates on and put the bottom trim on the windows. Got 2 windows and the pass-through window. Get started. First thing I want to do is try to get everything out off the floor. Bring it out into the kitchen. Start sorting through what we've got and what I need. We've got 3 green paints now, so I'm going to mark the one for the door. Sorting out things that can go out into the sheds. Tendency to want to put it right back in place somewhere. Just need to get it all out and rearranged. This is full of bits and things for the drill. This is for the one with red, is for plumbing. It has gas tanks in it and other things for copper pipe. First one I brought out with yellow latches. That has everything for electrical. This is electrical also, from when I ran all the electric wires. It's got some of the junctions and things like that in it. Another conduit, corners, things like that. Army cot that I brought down. Okay, the past couple of years I've lost one. Used to have two down here. One of these days I'm going to, probably this winter, get a nice day where I can walk around and I'll point out everything we did to make this place livable. Instead of running wires through the wall, one of the things we did, I've got a 4-inch PVC pipe underneath there. It runs the length of the floor. Over in that corner, it's got an outlet where I bring out all the wires for the kitchen. It's got a T that goes into the pavilion to take wiring out there for the electricity, and then it goes on out, and the big wire goes out and provides power to the bathrooms. But one of these days I'm going to go through everything here. One of these days. One of these days. This has electric tools in it. The on-demand water heater. This is the one I took out this spring. It still works as far as heating water. The flow control does not work, so it does not know when to turn the heater off. And what happens is it overheats, trips the breaker, and then in order to use it, you have to hit the breaker again. And on this one, it has an opening. You have to stick a little screwdriver in it to get it going again. Toolbox I had at work. Got a little bit of everything in it, but it needs to be redone and some of the old electronic tools thrown away. All this stuff on the floor. I thought it was a mouse got in there. Well, it looks like now, it looks like the flaking that they threw on the kitchen floor when they did the kitchen floor. turn you off for a minute, because next thing I'm going to do is get the mop out and mop that floor. I'm going to go empty the water, clean the mop. I need to change the battery in this recorder. Now that the floor is dried, I can get in here and grab the ladder. And I'm going to start up on the electrical at the very top. See what we can, what we need and what we can get rid of. Some of the legend conduit like this, only angles, inside and outside angles. Two outdoor wireless LED lights that we are never going to use. Spare wire and a bulb for the lights in the pavilion on the fans. On the bottom are rolls of wire, electrical wire. On the top are junction boxes. I don't know how many more we're going to need. Back. I'm going to take them to the restore. These are junction pieces that I've painted brown. It's what I use out on the pavilion to run the electrical wire out to the fans. Eventually, where the wire comes through the floor and comes over and feeds the electrical lines up here, I want to put it all in conduit to make it a little bit safer. So I need to keep these. Some 12-2 electrical wire. Save it just in case. Save it just in case we need some wiring done. And some red and black, number 12. Actually looks like 14. Black solid wire, red solid wire. We'll keep it just in case. And the next shelf, which is painting and plumbing. Got 3 paint pans, which are more than enough. This one is busted and is going to get thrown away. Paint brushes and rollers cans of spray paint and mixing sticks. So any caulk I find will go in there with the caulking gun. And now plumbing. This is some cork I had to buy when I took the old pump apart that we had out on the old cabin. Bunch of solvents, which I'm sure are at least 10 years old. And this package of multi O-rings and washers for faucets and stuff. I'll put that in this one. This has hoses for sinks and the like. This has pipe support and PEX clamps, PEX stuff, basically. This is a PEX support, pipe support, PEX inch converters, PEX pipe support. Oh, so that was correct. Then we have copper pipe that I use for the draining the sinks, a hose, and some PVC connectors. None of which I'll use anymore. These PVC connectors were actually used for the electrical. So I'm going to take them and give them to the restore. This is useful in draining and priming the pump. The long one is for draining the water out of a water system under the sink. So those are kept. I can get rid of this copper pipe. Any copper pipe busts down, just go into PEX. It's not worth doing the solder and all that. New fly swatter. Oil, linseed oil used for the lodgepole. Staple gun and stapler. Still using that when I'm making the screens up out front. I still have about 3 or 4 screens to do. Where do I want to put this stuff? I think what I'm going to do is move plumbing and electrical to the very top. Since the electrical is basically done and most of the plumbing is done, I'm going to put them at the top where we don't have to go after them so often. I'm thinking, when I put these shelves in, I put them in upside down so that I'd have this lip. And I'm trying to decide whether I need that lip or whether I can go ahead and turn them over and put them on in the right way. It's easier to get things on and off. And I've never had a problem with stuff wanting to fall on my head. I I think I'm going to try that with the top one, turn it over. I'm having all kinds of trouble with this. I'm going to turn you off while I figure that out. I'll turn you on when I start up. I got I put it back on the way it was because it had been too much in that position. So I'm going to start putting some stuff back at the top. Give me room for storing some more stuff out of here. Electrical's going on top again. Just going to rearrange some. And I'm going to put little used plumbing stuff up there too. Stuff I don't use very often. Of course, I got the connectors from outside for the building. Put paint and painting supplies on the second shelf down. Get this stuff up off the floor. Kill heat. Door paint from the lodge. Kill heat. Base white. This is some raincoat transparent stain that we used on the deck. The two shades of green from the bathrooms and the gray floor paint. Get that up off the floor is going to help a lot. And I'm going to put the bug spray up there too that I used to put the ants around the foundation. Spray paint, which we don't use very often. Paint brushes, which we do. Rollers, which we do. So we'll put these here. Paint rollers, paint brushes. Spray paint. And on the end, we'll put the roller pans. There we go. Cleans that up quite a bit. Start cleaning off this shelf, which has got general stuff plus mostly screws and nails. Various types of screws, marking labels. Mothballs and screws. Screws, doorknob screws. Bunch of doorknob screws. Doorknob screws. And paper. Deck screws. Various sizes. Some deck screws and poly bags that I use to put keys in for everyone. Miscellaneous nails and nails. I'm going to keep them in here all the way through it. The deck screws back up here. Be able to empty out a plastic container. I'll put the small screws in it, and I've got all over the place. Yeah, it's miscellaneous. And they look like pipe holders. Support. This one. More paintbrushes. And miscellaneous screws. Now go here. And now we have two small empty buckets. I don't know what he said, man, we'll put them right up here. They're basically painted anyway. Got in it. I think it says miscellaneous, but it is heavy. Double-sided mounting tape. This linseed oil up there with the chemicals. Take the top out separate. It is too stacked full. bolts a little bit. This is basically drill bits and the like, which I actually got in that yellow one. Miscellaneous socket, 1/4-inch sockets. Screen door hinges. And my anniversary toolkit. I'm going to put the anniversary toolkit back up here next to the screws. It's got wrenches, sockets, drivers, jumping cables, so all that can be used. And on top of it, I'm going to put, or maybe on top of the screws, I'm going to put staple gun and staples. That's used quite often. Now, while I go through some of these, I'm going to go through some of these tool boxes, sort them out. I'm going to just go ahead and turn it off for a while. I did go ahead and turn this shelf over so that I can put, up here in the corner, I'm putting the big toolbox with all the bits, drill bits and stuff like that. I emptied out what was in that little red one and put in there what I wouldn't fit, put back in there. Power tools I put down there in the corner. Bottom is electrical parts, and then this is the electrical toolbox. I took the paint pans down because I need to put up the, I forgot to put up the caulk and the caulking gun, so that's going to go up here in the corner. That's used quite often. And then I'll put the paint pans on top of that. Put the wrenches and all up there. This one's not very used very often, this red one. It's the it is the plumbing equipment. And that won't fit in there, so I'm going to have to put it here on the end. Always have to dig it out if I need it, but that's what we'll do. Got an empty container. I'm going to put all the brushes and putty knives in it, along with anything to do with the screens. I'm just going to put it on top of here. Not getting rid of as much as I wanted to. I'm going to take a bucket. And put electrical cords and anything electrical in it, including the, I found some jumper cables. That'll fit down there. This toolbox has screwdrivers and wrenches, which is what we use the most. I'll keep it in the front here and keep it open. miscellaneous things like fly traps. I'm just going to set up here on the drill bits and stuff. Some sandpaper, and got a bunch of wire ties that the container broke, so we get something for that. We should go put up the sandpaper on top of the screws. That small broom there. Going to hang these big vices or clamps up here for right now. This is hammer, brushes, and measuring tapes. Fit right in here. With the open and box-in wrenches on top of the socket wrench set. Got the cordless drill there. Bring a battery charger back in there. Got a bolt cutter and a bunch of hand saws right here. Right in there. That's pretty much it. See how much we can pick up. You can see I didn't get rid of a whole lot, but it's a little better organized. And that's not as crowded down there. I've got some things to throw away. And hopefully it's easier to find stuff in here now. I am going to clean up a little bit now, so turn you off for a while I clean up this mess and decide what's getting thrown away and what's not. Well, I'm ready to leave, so I'm going to do a little final walkthrough here. I'm in the pavilion, even though I didn't do anything in the pavilion. I'm just still going to check it. Lodge pole's still there. The doors are locked securely. Everything's still, the picnic tables are still covered up. As I said, the 2x6 is starting to lose weight. All the screens are secured. That screen door on the east side is locked. And that's it for the pavilion. Make sure I lock the door. Check out what I did. Although I didn't throw away as much as I wanted to, I got everything up off the floor, mostly by getting the paint up there and reorganizing the tools. I got room down here, and I put some things out in the shed, but wonder how long this lasts. Turn the light off, shut the door, the heater is off, the stove is off. We'll leave these kickboards up here just to flatten out a little bit, make sure they're nice and flat. Looks like I need one more of those in order to go all the way around. I think that's going to be my next project. That and the trim lumber underneath the windows, but I'll do the kickboards first. I can come down and do that when it's cool out. I'd also like to do a walkthrough, show people how we ran electrical, how we ran water, why we did things that we did. But that's for another day. Lights off. Oh, lock this door behind me. I used the restroom, so I turned the light off in the outhouse and shut the door and put the hook on. Make sure this is locked. Yep. As you can see, it's still as gray as when we got here. In fact, I walked out to the back just a moment ago to check on some things and felt like it was spitting rain. So I'm headed home. Tired as usual. Shed's closed up and locked up after I put some things in it. And everything seems to be in good shape, so we're out of here. Until the next time, everyone take care of yourself. Enjoy your holidays.